We were wrong. We have to admit, we were wrong. We thought that the Rajasthan Royals didn't have a long enough batting lineup, that the tail would have to wag, and they didn't have that much wag in them. They had it. It was the tail who did the job. It was Jofra Archer in the end who got them across the line, didn't he? And it was the young man Riyan Parag why does his name come out as an accent? Riyan Parag.
Maybe it's because the ads that you hear before, the funny accents in them.
Yeah, because that. Hello and welcome to MPL Presents Cricbuzz Live. Sadly for KKR, it is now 6 losses in a row. They have matched that run by RCB. They had it in the beginning of the tournament. KKR has had it in the middle. And there were a lot of memes and gifs made then. Perhaps you just changed them to another team now, from red to purple. I have Mr. Shaun Pollock, Mr. Harsha Bhogle here with me. Gentlemen, do you say worrying times for KKR or or is it game over KKR?
Yeah, I think Shaun's been saying one team's going to go through on 14.
Yeah.
It's possible now that our team will go through on 14 if there's more upsets. So the net run rate comes in. But yeah, when you do 6 in a row, it's very difficult to turn it around. Today, they got Dinesh Karthik produce a big score. They got Sunil Narayan to take wickets. So a lot of good came out of the game, and they still lost.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in RPL history who's lost 6 on the trot and managed to sneak through to the playoffs. That would be a big surprise for me if there was someone. But as Harsha mentioned, there were good signs for them. I suppose the big surprise for us is the situation that they had when they had them chasing and they turned to Nareen. I thought, well, here's going to be a good over. This will probably be the one that turns it in their favour. I think it went for 16, and he bowled 3 overs, 2 for 10 at that stage. I was surprised that was the turning point. But all credit to probably the youngster, 17-year-old, and good job, Bra Archer. He did a good job, Bra Archer there. Very good job, Bra Archer. Impressive performance by him in his hitting power. He hasn't done that so far in the RPL. So. Yeah, good signs for Rajasthan. I think they would have probably, if you had stopped the game after 16, or just as Nareen came on and said, well, what do you think? I think if they had to put their houses on, they would have bet against themselves. So it was a good turnaround.
And also, Nareen dropped Parag with that return catch when Parag was on.
Right.
Yeah.
Hardly was Duck, right? Hardly scored.
He was on an Ashton Turner.
Yeah. No. But it was such an easy catch.
Yeah.
Such an easy catch.
That person who said catches win matches, he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, he knew what he was talking about. That one really would have, and it wasn't really a tough one on his follow-through.
Sorry, actually at that point we didn't take it too seriously because KKR were winning the game, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they were really well, but in the end they weren't. Let's have a look at the match summary and you'll understand. People obviously would be slightly shocked because 175, they did well, Kolkata, to get there basically because of Karthik just playing a dream innings today, 97 not out of 50, and he'd be looking around and going, how did that end up on the losing side? But it did, with 4 balls to spare that too. And there you go, Archer 27 of 12, Parag 47 of 31. They didn't get much from the senior pros, right, today, not what they'd like to get. But we got to talk about Parag because as he going 17-year-old comes there, you had to feel for him eventually how he got out, right? He's not a tall guy and he's thinking, well, I wasn't even back in my crease. How have I gone around and hit the wicket here? And you could see him disappointed, holding his head. I think if Rajasthan would have ended up on the losing side after that, probably would have been the most gutted would be that kid.
Yeah, but look, he got out at 167 with 7 balls left.
Yeah.
They only needed 9 runs at that point. So he'd really done his job.
Yeah. But he wanted to be there at the end, you could tell.
Naturally, you're 50 not out and you're winning. And yeah, he wanted to be there. But it doesn't take away anything. He's a good player.
It reminds me of some of the Mumbai guys when they used to talk about if they'd got a small edge, they would say it was just a faint tip. It was just a faint tip.
It's good enough.
Just a faint tip on the stumps. Then he was on his way.
It's good enough.
It was good enough to be out. Let's have a look at what... did we look at the KKR bowlers? No, let's have a look at the KKR bowling analysis because it really was... It was a different story for like 15 overs and then it just turned with that Sunil Narayan over. And I know you can look at it now and you can say, oh, he went for 15 in that over. He could have gone to somebody else. But I mean, like you're saying, you'd bet your house on the fact that a Sunil Narayan over would close out the game for KKR.
Yeah, right call to go to him. I mean, Archer was the impressive one because as a youngster too, you're going to face Narayan. You're thinking to yourself, well, should I just knock him around and make sure we don't lose any wickets to him? But he took him down first delivery, straight back over his head for 6, and that set the tone for the rest of the over. So, I think they did the right thing by getting Naran on, and you can't really blame him. Rana, I'm not convinced. You guys are giving me the history about he got De Villiers and Kohli out in 1 over or something like that. But it just seemed like
a long time ago, it seems.
Yeah, and there was nothing on it. It didn't seem like that was the right option to go to.
Not that they had effect for something. With Rana, there's nothing on the ball. Don't search. He just comes in and does.
It didn't
seem an over. Right? He bowls one slow, one quick, one full, one short. Yeah. Basically, I think he was trying to get one over out because he's not sure of who he could go to at the end. And that considered he got 13 of that.
Yeah, he's a surprise bowler in terms of that if he gets a wicket, it's a surprise. Right? So the mystery is that. The mystery is how did he get those two wickets?
Sometimes on a slow day, a couple of balls will just sit in, you miss time, you produce a 6-7 run over, you've got one out.
Yeah, but did he have to... exactly, like DK
but he had 6 bowlers.
Surprise.
Yeah, but he had 6 bowlers.
7, didn't he use? Didn't he use 7?
He used 7 eventually. He already had 6. So the question is, of the 6 bowlers that he had, how many were bowlers he could look in the eye and say, I'm going to him? Once Sunil Narayan had bowled out, which of those remaining... once Piyush Chawla had bowled out early, then Sunil Narayan bowls out, which of Brathwaite, Krishna, Russell and Prithviraj is he patting himself saying, right, I'm going to him?
Well, Brathwaite, if you brought Brathwaite in, he's opened the bowl in 2 overs, 0 for 16.
Yeah, but probably you bowled the first was the easiest over to bowl in T20. So.
What? I did it a couple of times. I didn't find it easy. Sehwag was going, Gale was going...
Comparatively easy.
Comparatively, well...
Oh, the stats telling first over is always the least expensive over. So anyway.
Perhaps, but he could have... Well, that's the call that they made of that. But not that you keep dissecting it and going, could KKR have given it to somebody else? The fact is that KKR has not lost the match. It's Rajasthan Royals who have won the match. And they won it because of a young guy. They won it because of Parag and they won it because of Archer. And we've kept talking about Archer, he can do something with the bat. He didn't have the numbers to prove it. He got only 40 runs, I think, in the tournament so far, in total. Today he comes and gets that 27 to 12 and really wins it and wins it comfortably.
And I think when Stokes and Butler get back to the UK, there might be the main selector, Ed, phoning them saying, come on, boys, give me the inside track. What do you think about this Archer boy? Because he's been impressive.
I hope they ask those two
Yeah.
and not David Willey or Mark Wood or Chris Wokes.
Yeah.
Any of the bowlers, basically.
Any of the bowlers are saying it's wrong to pick him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think...
It's as wrong as saying pick Tendulkar or me. Is that...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where they're coming from. They feel like there's a team dynamic and he hasn't been part of this and that. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes in that series. Who's it? Ireland and Pakistan. And if he impresses with the ball there, I mean, we've seen he can contribute with the bat as well. Yeah, I think there might be one of the two of those guys under pressure.
I think Michael, when he was here, made a valid point. He said everyone talks about the fact that England are making 350, 370, 380, but the bowlers are conceding 330, 340. So if you want to win a World Cup and your bowlers are going to concede 300 plus, then you have to score 350 every time to win.
Yeah.
So he said he can't imagine.
Yeah, there's no... you look at the ODI setup of England, just for a second, you look at that and you go, there's no real, tear-away fast bowler there who you're really sort of worried about.
Mark Wood can be quick.
Yeah, but nobody who you would...
Plunkett.
You would look at it and you go, there's no... there's no... is there any X factor there? Is there a Wasim Akram? You know what I mean? Is there somebody... And you look at this young guy and obviously he's impressed everybody of that slow run-up and bowling 145 and doing that, and today doing this with the bat. You're going, all right, man, can he take somebody's place? Of course he can.
Except that sometimes he drops 3 catches, but most days he holds them.
Yeah.
Most days he holds catches. The other he drops 3
I think he also, when you're looking at it, you've got to go to what kind of bowler he is. And, if they've got Mark Wood, who's quite quick, but he's skiddy. And then, who's the other bowlers that bowl at Liam Plunkett? There's a lot of guys who...
Willey, Vokes.
Yeah, I think he brings more bounce.
Yeah.
Tom Curran.
Which is something different. It's not something that... It's almost... You'd prefer to give more bounce than someone like a Stuart Broad. So it would be a different dimension. So it might actually be a good addition. Watch this space.
Well, he did, Jofra Archer after the game did say that he appreciates because Rajasthan Royals had taken a risk by taking him in the team when he hadn't played any international cricket. And well, that's paid off for the Royals. Now, will England take that risk as well?
But England have diversified, have you noticed?
What do you mean?
It's like people who are fishing in one place and they suddenly say, okay, let's see how the fish are somewhere else. So it's after fishing in South Africa, they've now gone to the West Indies.
Naughty. Naughty, naughty. I'll tell you who was
Also,
not naughty today. It was Dinesh Karthik.
Yes.
And Dinesh Karthik is our MPL hero of the match. He has to be. Listen, I know you say, oh, but doesn't it go to the person from the winning team? Now, come on, 97 of 50. Come on now. That is just an absolute genius performance. And he's also got the most points for all our MPL Super Team players today. But that really was, that's really sort of the bright spot today for KKR, if there is any.
Yeah, just a normal performance is one thing, but then you've got to throw in the fact of his team had lost 5 in a row. As a captain, he's feeling the pressure. They've left out Robin Uthappa, who's the most experienced middle order player. There's talk about whether he should or shouldn't go at number 4. Should they put Russell up? So you put all that
came in at,
on,
20 for 2 or something like that? Yeah.
But you put all that on his shoulders, the extra pressure of really needing to produce something. It was a top knock by him. He held his nerve and then really cut loose at the end. So credit to him.
He said something interesting at the press conference. I'm just reading that. He says, first he says it was wet. He says the ball was wet. Wet ball, deer on the outfield didn't help us. Happy the way the boys fought. But a lot will boil down to how much they trust me as a leader.
Oh.
What, going forward?
It's important to keep the mood right. Okay, whatever.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Maybe just a nice guy trying to take the blame on himself.
No, what does that mean?
Okay.
What does that mean?
The Cricbuzz,
We'll keep an eye on that story as it develops. There's Andre Russell at press conferences. There's Dinesh Karthik at press conferences. Listen, it's no surprise something is going on in that KKR setup. Shaun, your team loses 6 in a row. There's bound to be things that are happening in there, right?
Yeah, accountability. Someone has to be accountable for the performance. And often it's the coach or the captain who take it in the neck. It's not often the players where you say, oh no, it was those 5. And even as a captain, even if you think it is those 5, you can't exactly go in the press and say, it was those 5. I did my job. I've captained pretty well. I got some runs. You're the last to leave the ship. You've got to take that responsibility. So there will be some aftermath from this performance. And as I very much doubt that there's any chance of them getting close. What's the most they can get? Can they get to 14 points?
They can get to 14 points.
Yeah.
They got to win the next 3 now to get to 14 points.
The funny part is everybody's saying we've got to win the next 3 to get to 14, but they might be playing each other too.
That's
so only one of those can win that one.
That is true.
It's that time now where you start saying who has to play whom. But the funny thing is, you start to say, okay, who's got to play Bangalore? Maybe there's points there. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Who's got to play Rajasthan? Maybe there's points there. That's not happening.
Yep.
Because the teams at the bottom aren't saying, oh, too bad, sorry, we'll see you next year.
But look, because the teams at the bottom are actually not that far behind.
Correct.
Like, the middle of the table is 1 win away from them, in a way, right? You look at Punjab and Hyderabad, they're both at 10. And Hyderabad is in the top 4, and Bangalore's at 8. So there's really suddenly...
I mean, there's one game there. Hyderabad have one game.
Agreed.
Short, but yeah.
Agreed.
I suppose when you look at that, though, you've got to say Mumbai played 10, Hyderabad played 10. Net run rates of both those teams very good. They win their next game, which is the 11th, to take everything level on matches played. It's all of a sudden you're starting to pick a top 4 there.
Yeah.
You're starting to think, well, there's your top 4 for the.
Yeah,
for the
but Mumbai's playing Chennai tomorrow.
Chennai.
Yeah, so Mumbai's playing
but
Chennai tomorrow in Chennai.
Chennai are through. So
Yeah, so let's say, for example, Mumbai doesn't win that. Then they're 12 or 11.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hyderabad's next game is on Saturday. Who are they playing next?
We'll go to the Cricbuzz app and I'll tell you in a minute.
So they are playing the Rajasthan Royals. And that match is happening at... Somebody will tell me that as well. So Sunrisers Hyderabad are playing in Jaipur.
I'll tell you what, Rajasthan Royals are playing the Sunrisers in Jaipur.
Now let's say if Rajasthan Royals win that, they are then suddenly on 10 points. Hyderabad stuck on 10 points of 11 games. I'm just saying this could, over this weekend, still pan out to be extremely interesting. Because now when you're looking at Sunrisers Hyderabad and Rajasthan Royals playing in Jaipur, suddenly SRH, strong team, runners-up last year, are not favourites going into that game.
No.
Right?
Actually, it's been such a good IPL.
Yeah.
There have been very few games you start saying one is a definite favourite, and that's how it's turned out.
Yeah.
You really can't say that. I mean, the CSK went to play against Sunrisers and played an insipid match.
Correct.
So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, they're clear. They're clear. I mean, because it's jostling to get to 14, and these guys are 16. You know, it's like, I've got 80%, main lad ke 70% aa raha hu.
Yeah.
So they're ready. They're gone. I mean, they're gone into the playoffs, virtually. As far as I'm concerned, they're gone in the playoffs.
Yeah, they pretty much are. Oof, well, listen, there's going to be permutations and combinations. Just when you think you write a team off, and this has happened before, People wrote of RCB, people wrote of Rajasthan Royals. They come in punching, right? They're coming in punching. Now, you may write off KKR, and they could punch in the next 3 games. So this will be interesting, but guaranteed, and we say this every year, it'll go down to the last weekend. It really will. You won't know who the top 4 are.
Monday the 29th, I'm looking at this. Sunrisers versus Kings in Hyderabad.
Well, see, it's fun.
Monday the 29th, Sunrisers versus Kings. It's a good game.
What's it, 6 games, no, 4 games before then?
Yeah, I mean...
There are 6 games. There's 5 games before then. So 4 on the weekend, and of course, 3 tomorrow.
You said...
there's 3 this weekend, of course. There's 3 Saturday. We come to work late. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh God, this is too good.
I strongly object to that last pose because you've been making fun of RCB supporters, KKR supporters, and that not so subtle plug for CSK was...
Just because I got yellow shoes.
The yellow shoes on
I got yellow, but I got a blue shirt.
Now the shoes. I mean, no one
wears
yellow.
And I got a red table.
No one wears yellow shoes.
I got a red table.
Sorry, no one wears yellow shoes. That's a plug.
What? No one wears yellow shoes? You said?
Nobody wears yellow shoes.
How many years have you known me?
Nobody wears yellow shoes. Not even you.
You've known me since I was a baby. I've always worn.
So that not so subtle plug was noticed.
And what about the blue then?
Nah, it's the shoes.
What about tomorrow?
It's the shoes.
Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings. Yeah, Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings. That's the game that's happening tomorrow. But before we go to that, let's also see who's on our leaderboard. Have we got a 400, gentlemen? Have we got a 400? Have we got a 400?
No.
What have we got? What have we got? 3!
Almost there. Almost there.
Our super team hero on MPL is Aditya Kumar. Aditya Kumar, why don't you have a picture there? Come on. Show us your face. Don't be shy. You got 382 points.
He's got a crown, but every second team is either a king or a royal. So
that is true.
So he could call himself Rising Aditya Kumar Super Royal.
Rising. The one. Super Royal.
Yeah.
Like Super Giant. Just like Shaun Pollock had his throne today. We've got a crown there. We've got a throne here. We've got Super Kings playing tomorrow. It's all happening here. Let's have a look at the game that's tomorrow. We'll do a short preview on that. There's the Mumbai Indians playing the Chennai Super Kings. They're calling this, so it's interesting. Rohit Sharma just put it up on social media saying this is the El Clasico of the IPL. Look at Shaun Pollock's reaction. He's like, I like that.
He's suffering from results of certain big matches recently.
Yeah, let's not talk about matches.
Derby, we're not going to talk about Derby matches from last night.
Let's talk about derbies. But hey, these two, 6 titles between them.
Yes.
Out of 11 IPLs.
Correct.
Right? So fair enough to call it.
A couple of champions.
Couple of champions thrown in there as well.
Yeah, and remember how it goes? Mumbai Indians 13, 15, 17, and...
19.
Could be an arithmetic progression. Could be a geometric progression. I don't know.
Harmonic, actually.
Yeah, harmonic progression. That's not even a term. He's just showing off.
Nah.
Doesn't exist as a term. We street educators also know something. All right, so these two teams playing tomorrow. They are playing in Chennai. So you would say slight advantage Chennai, as you say, when you're playing on that surface. Fair to say that, Shaun?
Yeah, I mean, the last surface they produced was good, wasn't it? It was a nice one. It was probably the best one we've seen at the ground so far this season.
And Shane Watson liked that.
Yeah, he loved it. He absolutely loved it. But will we see the same?
No.
I think we'll see something different.
Yeah.
Absolutely, certainly you'll see something different. Look, there's 4 or 5, on Indian grounds, unlike a lot of English grounds, you don't have a lot of pitches on the square.
Yeah.
So typically they pick 2 and say, right, IPL 7 games, 2, I've got a third backup. So much criticism on the fact that they've produced one that got 70, one that produced 109, another 150, but they knew that against Rashid and the others, they didn't want to play on a 130 pitch.
Yeah.
They come to Mumbai, they might fancy a 135, 140 pitch. So I'm expecting a slowish pitch.
Yeah. Might be. Let's have a look at their teams though. The Chennai Super Kings, let's have a look at them. They don't really like to make changes.
Full of young Turks.
They made, sorry?
Full of young Turks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Young Dhoni, young Tahir, playing with the enthusiasm of 20-year-olds.
Young Harbhajan.
Yeah, playing with enthusiasm of 20-year-olds. Young Watson.
Yeah, he's not changing this team.
No, not particularly if it's the surface that Harsha is talking about. Then you've got your 3 spinners options, 12 overs from them, and
it's just a gut feel. I mean,
I'm sure, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Chahar will be good up front. You've got Bravo to bowl a couple of overs as well. So I'd be very surprised if they made any changes to that. That unit on their own ground.
Now, Dhruv Shorey will come back as sub to take a couple of catches.
He does. Field, so. Yeah, outsourcing the catching too.
Yeah, outsourcing.
Let's get the young guy. Let's get the youngster in so he can take a few catches. For the Mumbai Indians, let's talk about them as well. For Mumbai Indians, This is the squad.
They've gone fishing in South Africa as well. They've got a South African bowler now to replace Alzari Joseph.
Yes,
They've got
there you go. Bjorn Hendricks.
They've got a
Shaun will tell us about him.
South African wicketkeeper, batsman at the top of the order, Quinton de Kock.
Yeah.
Bjorn Hendricks, left armour, came up with some high expectations. Was probably not far out of the main squad for the World Cup. Yeah. He was there and thereabouts as a left-handed option.
Takes pace off.
He does take the pace off really well. I think what he has lost a little bit of is when I first saw him, he used to shape the ball back into the right hand as nicely as a left hand to up front. And they brought him into the one-day team to try and see if he could do the same up front. And his initial overs weren't that great. He didn't get the ball to swing around. But in the middle, he does get the experience and bowls pretty well at the death as well. Quinton de Kock, I'm interested to see how he'll go. I think this is would be his first bad surface, if you want to put it that way, with regards to one that might stop and turn.
An ideal one for him.
Yeah, so he likes the ball coming on. So it'd be interesting to see if they maybe go and start with someone like Harbhajan to him in those initial few overs, because not the best start. I mean, he's done all right against the spinners up front, but always prefers to rather have the seamers attack him in the first 6 overs rather than the spinners.
Yeah, and if they play a slowish pitch, which Chennai would want to do that, Mumbai's ready for it. They've got Rahul Chahar.
I wonder what they'll do with Ben Cutting, though. They've got Rahul Chahar, correct?
They've got Markande, they've got Krunal Pandya.
Well, Markande didn't have a great game the other day.
Yeah.
And Krunal hasn't had a great season this year. But Rahul Chahar I'm just looking at Ben Cutting as one, as a position there.
Pull it back. Let's have a look.
They put him in at 7 because then Rahul Chahar is 8. So if they have to replace a Ben Cutting, they want someone who can bat a little bit. But Bjorn Hendricks doesn't bat, right?
No, you wouldn't really be trusting him.
Because the reason I asked Bjorn Hendricks is because they're going to lose Behrendorff very shortly. Okay. They haven't played him recently, but unless they want to check out Bjorn Hendricks and see if he's good enough to play in the playoffs.
Yeah. But I think Ben Cutting, they like to float, don't they? Like to get him up the order. And maybe they'll say to him, listen, you go and just have a whack at it up front. Yeah. They'll probably stay with that.
Because he's a strong, powerful guy, and it doesn't matter. And he's played in Hyderabad he had a good season in Hyderabad batting, especially when that pitch was also kind of slowish and sluggish.
Yes.
Right?
Wasn't it that final? Ben Cutting?
Yeah, man of the final.
Against RCB?
Yeah.
Tumhari gaadi gayi. I reminded Ajit of RCB.
I just gave Ajit some ice cream. He's fine.
Okay.
He's very happy right now. And also, he's an RCB fan, and he's happy. You know how RCB and KKR battles happen over here.
They're all singing a bridge too far, KKR today.
A bridge too far, KKR. But I don't know. Actually, could be unhappy because with KKR losing today, Rajasthan's actually gone ahead of RCB. So, yeah, RCB's gotten to the bottom of the table. There's just a lot of politics happening here behind the scenes. Don't ask. It involves cars and ice creams and crybabies. We'll talk about it some other day. All right, so these are what the two teams are. And just one quick word, Shaun, about the pace. Mumbai Indians has a little revolving door with fast bowlers this season, don't they? Just coming and going. They're coming and going. Adam Milne, Alzari Joseph, Lasith Malinga. Is he in? Is he out? Where is he?
Is he coach? Is he player?
Is he coach? Is he player? Is he Sri Lanka? Is he India? Where is he?
No, he's player. Come on, don't be nasty to him now. He's sat on the side for a year, but he... No, I mean, he's a lethal weapon for them, and he's still producing some good stuff. But it's been a bit topsy-turvy kind of situation for them, and not ideal, because you do start to bank on certain guys, and your team gets comfortable with certain performers playing certain roles. So, yeah, not ideal situation for them, with a few injuries and a few changes. And now Behrendorff going to go back. So, we have to see if Hendricks gets a gig or not.
I'm waiting to see a defining performance from Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
We see Shikhar Dhawan has picked himself up. Dhoni is playing well. Kohli's produced some fine performances. And I'm looking beyond MI and CSK at the World Cup, and one good innings, really nice, good feel-good inning. I'd like to see Rohit Sharma go and get a big one tomorrow.
I tell you who also I think still got a bigger performance in him is Quinton. I've seen a few good 50s and stuff like that, but he is one of those guys who can take it to the next level, who can actually get a 3-figure score.
He's actually got 2 good surfaces to play on, because MI play KKR twice.
Yeah.
So he's playing one in Mumbai, one in Kolkata, both his kind of surfaces.
Yeah. So I think we'll see a good one from him at some
stage. And the thing is that Quinny is extremely highly regarded as a batsman. World over.
And he scored all his runs against India. In India, we like him. He always scores runs against India.
Yeah. But I'm glad they put Rohit back at the top with him. I mean, it just makes sense. I don't know what the thinking was last year. But those two at the top, I agree with you. I think And particularly, in knockout phases, I think they would get through. And then at the top of the order, you've always got that potential for one of them to get a massive score. And that just sets a game up superbly, when you've got one of the top two. And they've both got that ability. I mean,
he's kept well too. He's kept all right.
Yeah, nice surface to keep on at the one kiddie compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, true.
Compared to Chennai. Well, okay, well, that's, of course, wraps up our preview for tomorrow's game. Let's finish the business from today, which is the joy factor question. Answer, winner, in that order. Which is the only test match that India lost by 10 wickets while losing only 11 wickets themselves in the entire match? I feel like Mr. Bhogle has cracked this one.
Because...
Before we see the answer, your guess, come on.
Okay, before we see the game,
yes.
This had to be the game, the last test match in 1976. Third test in Trinidad. Clive Lloyd had said India 400 runs to get, played with 3 spinners and lost by 6 wickets, and he vowed never to play with spin again, as the world discovered.
Yeah.
So he goes to Jamaica and he asks Michael Holding to bowl quick. And batsman after Indian batsman is going off. So India declared in the first innings 6 down because Bedi and Chandrasekhar, without helmets, just didn't have the capacity to stand up to the West Indies fast bowling.
Chin music.
So 306 declared. They got 10 wickets off the opposition. But when they came out to bat, and they were 97 all out because 5 batsmen weren't fit enough to bat. They'd all been hit. Anshuman Gaikwad had been hit. Brijesh Patel had been hit. 5 were injured.
Oh.
So they were all out 97, but had actually lost only 5 wickets.
Okay.
So declared after 6 because Bedi and Chandrasekhar didn't have the ability to play.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't even matter if this is the right answer or the wrong answer because it's a great story. I love the story. So, but let's see what the answer is.
It was a bit like an objective type question getting an essay type answer.
It was great. I loved it. We love stories. We love the story. What do you know? It is correct.
It was just a multiple choice question.
It is correct. On the 25th of April, today exactly 43 years ago.
Yeah, asked Bishan Bedi, he said, I just didn't have any batsmen left, so when you've got no batsmen left, it's the end of the innings, right?
The interesting part of the answer that Harsha gave us, the long-winded answer that Harsha gave us,
and I always thought he was a gentleman and polite. He just stopped me, anyway.
Was the fact that Clive Lloyd decided that he would never play spinners again. I mean, can you imagine doing that in the modern day?
Yeah.
We lost that test match. A spinner will never represent India ever again. We're going fast bowlers. Can you imagine how that would go?
And listen, he went 4 fast bowlers, and guess what? Next thing you know, he's got Roberts, he's got Holding, he's got Clark, and he's got Croft, he's got Croft, and he's got Garner. And while these 4 are ruining everybody, there's a young little fellow called Malcolm Marshall who comes along, your mentor. Malcolm Marshall comes along. And then the Sylvester Clark comes along, and then one begets another, and one begets another.
And suddenly you're shaking a tree and 4 fast bowlers are falling out anywhere over the Caribbean. And that's what happened. Well, we shook the tree. Let's see if the winner fell out. Who's the winner who fell out? Who's the first person? Come on, show us. Agam Shah. Vivid Listener. I feel like Vivid Listener has won. I think Vivid Listener has won before. Returning
Have
winner.
you got a vivid...
I think I have a vivid memory of listening to his name from before. I think it's coming to me. Hang on. Yes, he has. Yes, he's won it before. Congratulations, Mr. Shah. Congratulations. You won.
I've been in that chair before. I know what you do. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that wraps it up. Is there anything else left? Anything else? Anything? So you've been in this chair. Anything else left?
It's 12:20.
Is it 12:20?
Yeah.
Is it that late?
It is, yeah. No, it's more actually.
Bye. No, thank you so much for watching MPL Presents Cricbuzz Live. A big thank you to Mr. Shaun Pollock, to Mr. Harsha Bhogle. Getting misters. Getting misters at the end as well.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kapur.
Are you going to be here tomorrow? Oh no, you got a flight in a few hours.
I am going to Chennai, sir.
Chennai. Mr. Bhogle, final call for your flight at gate 43. Please proceed for boarding.
Chennai-Bombay match in Chepauk.
In Chepauk. Okay, you're there. Mr. Pollock, you'll be here tomorrow.
I'll be here.
I shall be here as well. Who's going to be the third person here with us? That mystery shall be solved at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, or perhaps around 3:30 if you follow us on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.